Hey Motive Nation, Nick Pahr here with you again in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Spectrum Lanes, introducing the new Lethal Venom. Really excited about this new release. What we wanted to do with this ball is make it a little bit smoother. We've listened to everybody's comments about the black Venom and just kind of how they thought it was going to be a little bit smoother than it was, and it still retains a little bit more energy and is a little bit more sideways than they expected. So what we've done is taken the Leverage MXC cover stock that was originally found on the Sub-Zero forge and wrap that around the Gear APG core that has a little bit of asymmetry. So you've got a great combination going from the Sub-Zero down to the Lethal Venom, which is the exact same cover, just the smaller core that has a little bit of asymmetry. So you're gonna see a really smooth, controllable motion. It's not gonna be super sideways down lane. It's gonna be something that's gonna blend out the wet dry and allow you to stay in that zone a little bit longer instead of keeping to chase left or right for the left-handers into the puddle and find more oil so that your ball can retain enough energy and make that down lane motion. This ball is going to be really good on tougher stuff when you really just need a smoother, controllable shape, something that you can know that your ball is going to pick up but not be so crazy down lane that you never know what the ball is going to do. This is going to be a great ball on tour. It's going to go well with the Jackal Onyx that has the Leverage HXC cover stock, so a little bit stronger cover and core combination. Then you've got that symmetric version in the Sub-Zero forge, and then you've got down to a weaker overall ball in the Lethal Venom, but still that round, controllable, smooth shape that I think everybody needs in their bag. All right, so the first Lethal Venom you're gonna see me throw is my typical tester layout. This is 55 by 5.5 by 35. It's gonna get a little bit more read in the mid lane, and I'm gonna be able to adjust my angles accordingly based on what I see the ball do down lane, because I know that it's reading in the mid lane without losing too much energy and burning. But it's not gonna be something super sideways, so I'm not gonna have to throw it too far away from me. I can really stay close to the friction with this one and manipulate my hand in order to get it to do the right thing. All right, and the second Lethal Venom you're gonna see me throw is my typical pin down layout. This is 45 by 5 3/4 by 65. This one's gonna allow me to even stay closer to the friction. I can really tumble it up the boards and really close to all that dry that's to the right of me and not have the ball go sideways. If I really wanna rotate it, I can ship it at the friction and know that it's not gonna be anything too crazy like maybe a black Venom would, because it is, you know, that cover's so much cleaner and more responsive to the friction. This one's gonna be much rounder, still controllable, but still give me that continuous shape that I'm looking for when the friction shows up. Comparing the Lethal Venom to the Venom Shock, you're definitely gonna see a much smoother, controllable shape. I think the Venom Shock, especially once you get some games on it, you're gonna see that really strong motion down lane that's gonna force you a little bit more into the oil compared to the Lethal. You're gonna have much more drilling options with this Lethal Venom compared to a Venom Shock, just because of that Gear APG core that has that little bit of asymmetry. You can kick the mass bias out closer to your VAL line, and that's going to allow the ball to get a little bit more forward down lane and really control the back end motion. Or you can have it closer to your thumb, and it's going to retain energy longer and then be a little bit more down lane, but not nearly as much as a Venom Shock. Lethal Venom is going to give me much more control compared to the black Venom. I feel like the black Venom needs a bit more friction down lane. Even though they utilize the same core, that black Venom is much cleaner in the oil, so it's storing more energy and really wants to come off the end of the pattern, but you can dictate how it comes off the end of the pattern with your drilling layouts. Same thing with this ball, because it has the exact same core, that Gear APG, but the cover digs a little bit more in the oil, so it's going to be a slower response off the friction and a little bit more controllable. Comparing the Lethal Venom to a Coral Venom, you're going to see that it's much earlier, it digs in the oil a little bit better, and it's going to have a similar shape down lane as far as how it gets off the end of the pattern, but not so much sideways. It's going to be a little bit more forward, controllable. That Coral needs a bit more friction, the Lethal does not. It's going to pick up in the oil and give you that traction that you're looking for with a controlled motion down lane. Comparing the Lethal Venom to the Hyper Venom definitely needs some friction. It's going to be something that when I can't get a ball through the front, I know that I can throw that ball. It's got less diff and it's symmetrical, so I'm not worried about it burning up and getting too forward when it sees the friction too early. It's a much cleaner cover compared to this Lethal, so I'm needing the Lethal first when I have more volume, and then as that volume gets depleted, I can go right into that Hyper Venom because it's symmetrical and a cleaner cover, so I know that it's going to scoot down lane easy and come off the friction hard.